Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for ReZero Season 2, Episode 2. And yeah, last time we had the first episode, which was great. We had the introduction of the actual Gluttony, whereas the whale was just supposedly a pet, at least in the words of Gluttony before. And we also met Greed, even though our characters have no idea that Greed exists. I want to correct an error I think I had before. We'll see. I kind of speculated before, but after talking to one of my friends, he was saying that he doesn't think that that Krush was dead in the first save. Like right before he slit his throat, we saw Krush like on the ground there, like looked like she was dead. Apparently she wasn't, because that apparently would be like a giant plot hole or whatnot. She just wasn't moving, and Phyllis was like crying and screaming over her body. So she was so pale. I just assumed she was dead, but you know, it doesn't make sense that it would have been like where he reverted to, things shouldn't have changed. So my friend was saying that Fellas just healed her, and she would have been fine in that first save too. I'm still like, I still think they should have made her move a little bit in that first bit if that's what they wanted to go with. So I'm still a little confused by that, but I guess I'm just gonna go with the fact that she was alive in that first bit. It doesn't matter, move on, kind of thing. And I guess we'll see if it somehow matters later on. But alrighty, so yeah, without further ado, I'm really looking forward to what happens this episode. So let's jump into it, shall we? Alrighty, so like usual, guys, for my reactions, I do timer-based, so you guys have to have your own footage and sync it up with my timer. I'll have subtitles on the screen to help you guys out, follow along if you need that, but we are going to get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Alright. I know I didn't do a full recap. We have, obviously Rem in her Sleeping Beauty state. And Krush lost her memories too. Alright, so they headed back to Roswell, I think. Aww. Aww. 2 months. Damn. Very meta there, Subaru. So very polite. I feel like Krish definitely has changed a lot without her memories. What? Subaru being awkward as ever. She went for the handshake and he like slapped her hand or whatever. I don't know why he did that. Okay. I have PTSD from them riding these carts. It never goes good. As if it's the obvious choice. What? I don't even remember his name, to be honest. Pay attention to the road, man. You're driving. Time to say goodbye to you for now. I'm sure he will. Hmm. Don't we kind of know this already, or maybe we don't know all of it? Interesting. Nice and quick. Some of the townsfolk. Oh. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Never mind, I thought he was running out to, like, greet them. That's where they were. That's where they were all going when everything was happening last season, right? They're bringing all the townspeople to Sanctuary, I think. It's crazy that even Amelia doesn't know where it is. Oh, Rem. Like, even looked like she kind of had a smile on her face, I think, at that moment when Subaru's carrying her. Even though I know she's out and doesn't really know what's happening, but I imagine she would have a smile. Oh, I guess it's not really a smile now. Oh no! Something seems ominous. Was that Ram? Oh no, it's this chick. Oh. Yeah, those teeth were scary. What the hell? Yeah, we saw her last season, I think. Maybe in like flashbacks or something. Hmm. I thought it was gonna be Gluttony in like disguise or something with those teeth. What? Have to do with Rem? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. But Ran isn't gonna remember, so it's gonna be such a weird, like, feeling for her, I think. Beatrice! He finds the library first try, right? Yes! Alright. Oh no. The half beast girl explains her teeth, I suppose. Hmm. The gospel. Nice little flashback there. Whoa. What? Whoa! Witch factor. Hmm. In the sanctuary. Alright. Answers! Why does she know Betelgeuse? Ah. Hmm. Oh shit. And he's gonna get thrown out. Oh no! Hmm. Interesting. Ah. I don't trust her. She's supposed to be the. She seems nice, but she's supposed to be the replacement for Rem, and I don't like it. Frederica. Gotta try to remember that. Well, I mean, she told him what he needs to do, right? Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. This guy. Her pure innocent eyes are killing me. Otto is his name. I did notice they said that several times now. You gotta try to remember that as well. Gotta get all these names back on track. Oh, what is the one name? Garfield? Garfield? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. By the way, I mentioned earlier that Roswell might have went there with the townsfolk. I don't know if he did. He might have only went there with Ram, and the townsfolk might have been with Subaru. But Petra, the recruit. All right. I'll talk more about the where the townsfolk went regarding what happened last season in the discussion. She's trying. Oh, he's trying to get back to Beatrice. Hmm. Flattery always works. All right. Ah, interesting. Jeez, what is this gonna entail? Take good care of the sanctuary. What? What is this? I kind of like it. It's so mysterious. Ah, cool. Neat little gesture. Okay. The Lost Forest of Clamaldi. She has one too. Oh. Overcomes the sanctuary. The way they refer to it is so interesting. Hmm. Ah, that's so cool. Hmm. I hope Puck's not like gone. Hmm. Whoa. That was quick. Hmm. Alright. Subaru, damn it. Hmm. Yeah. Don't get our hopes up. Oh shit. It's happening. Things are happening. No. No, don't. No. What have you done? Oh. Is the sanctuary inside the stone? Maybe? Or maybe not. They all have trials to overcome, right? Who's this? Okay. Strange elf girl running through the forest, leading him somewhere that might be good or bad. Some kind of ruins. Gonna step on some kind of trap, isn't he? Or he's gonna push something in the wall. There's gotta be traps, right? Creepy. What? He is tripping on something. Who is this? Who are you? How? What? Greed, the Witch of Greed. What? Okay. Whoa. So I believe this is the opening that they're showing at the end of this, uh, which I am gonna watch. So there might be some slight spoilery stuff. Like Subaru roaming around. Interesting. Interesting. I probably shouldn't watch these just because of like slight spoiler stuff, but there is already some interesting stuff in this. Hmm. The evil hands. Oh. Jeez. I really like the imagery of Subaru like dying over and over in these openings. Like I really liked the first opening was fantastic. I actually kind of want to go watch it again. How like it like played through everything and then like reversed it and stuff. Like I love like the play on the fact that he has like the return by death stuff. I think that's really cool. That was a lot of little elf girls with the pink hair. All right. Cool. That is the end of episode 2, guys. Yeah, so man, there was a lot in that opening or whatever. It was an ending here, but I think it's supposed to be the opening from now on. But there's definitely a lot of stuff, and there's some things that you could interpret in some ways. I don't think I'm gonna deep dive into it yet. There are some things on my mind that I saw that I guess I can just talk about real fast, but I don't want to like spoil things, so I'm not going to go back and do like a play-by-play or anything. I'll watch it each episode and maybe pick up on some things as we go, but we saw Subaru in like the city, and even possibly we saw some like regular people in like a regular home that almost looks like it could either be backstory from him, that it could be like his parents or something back in the real world, right? Or him going back to the real world for like if one of these witches are able to send him back somehow or something. um that's actually something, or it could just be symbolism, and we might not be going back, right? It could very well just be symbolism of where he came from to get to this point, you know? Because then it also had him walking over the corpses of, like, I think it might have been some of his previous deaths that he was walking past, you know? So it could just be like a progression of the story in this opening. But me and my friend talked about whether it's possible that the story might evolve into somehow Subaru going back to the real world and maybe like not wanting to be back and wanting to get back here somehow, you know, and like stuff like that. We talked about it, you know, here and there, um but yeah, that's very interesting. If that might be some route that they're going down. But I will say this episode was fantastic because last episode was good, but it felt like they threw a lot at us and we just kind of had to keep up, you know? But this one felt like it's returning some of the mystery and stuff, which is really cool, and making it like quite interesting, you know? Like I talked about it in the discussion of last episode where I was a little worried that the show was gonna, you know, turn into something where Subaru runs into a wall and then has to die, or maybe he dies because of running into the wall, and then goes back and changes it, and we're just gonna see him like foreheading into this obstacle over and over again until he defeats it. And I thought like it might get a little bit repetitive if they go down that route. But now they're bringing up the sanctuary again, which I I guess now is a good time to talk about it. During the episode, I mentioned that like Roswaal and Ram are at the sanctuary, and I mentioned that the townsfolk were with them too. I think some of them might have been. I can't remember exactly how that went down last season. Um, but the fact that they went back to the town and there wasn't anybody there, and they were like actively looking for people, makes me think that there are some townsfolk with Roswaal and Ram at the sanctuary. But there's definitely like I just wanted to cover that because I kind of like that's what I thought at first, and then I like second guessed myself like further into the episode. I started thinking about it, and I was like, did I just make myself sound like an idiot? And then like I was like, whatever, I'll just talk about it in discussion because I wanted to like elaborate on my thoughts more because I couldn't quite remember. But either way, this sanctuary stuff is really cool. It's bringing like some mystery into the story of stuff we like don't know, you know, which is like really cool to me. The way they referred to it was so interesting for me, at least. Like she said you have to like overcome the sanctuary, but you also have to protect the sanctuary, you know? And like treat the sanctuary well. There were so many different ways of referring to it that almost made it seem like a person. Like the sanctuary could be a person that needs protecting or something along those lines. Or it could be a place. Or it could be like an object, you know? Like the way they referred to it kept it so open in the way you want to interpret it. And I feel like it could like still make sense for all of it. Like I'm so intrigued. And also like they're in this like lost forest, so why is this witch of greed here, you know? Um but man, I am so curious. And we also have like the Beatrice stuff with her somehow knowing Betelgeuse and almost thought of him fondly, which is interesting. Like is it possible that Beatrice is one of these witches? So the witch of we saw the witch of greed, which obviously wasn't the greed we saw before, which means I think there's a difference between the Sin Archbishops and the witches. I think the witches might create the Sin Archbishops in a sense. Um so I'm thinking like this Witch of Greed is the creator of the Sin Archbishop Greed that we saw last episode. I'm not entirely sure how it all works. Which that would mean there's 7 witches to go along with the 7 sins, the Sin Archbishops, which is terrifying because that just like adds a whole lot, and also terrifying because that means the Witch of Sloth is still out there, so she could just make another Sin Archbishop of Sloth, potentially, and we might run into Sloth again, you know? And I think that might be what Beatrice was talking about when she said you killed Sloth, but you didn't take down, or you didn't kill the witches. Oh, what did Beatrice call it? Shit. The witches... I almost want to say witch's container, but I don't think that was right. That's not the right wording. Hold on, I'm trying to find the spot again. I apologize. Witch factor. That's what it was. The witch factor. Okay, got it. My bad, guys. There's just so much that's like racking in my brain, so much I'm thinking about. I tend to forget some stuff here and there. So the witch factor. I wonder if the witch factor could, if Beatrice means like the witch of greed, you have to take out to fully remove that Sin Archbishop. You know. So that'll be interesting. I don't know how Beatrice plays into all this. Could she be one of the witches of something, you know? Like, because she's obviously not the, like, assuming that the witch factor is, like, she was talking about the Witch of Sloth, right? Kind of like the Witch of Greed here. Assuming that Beatrice is or assuming the witch factor is what Beatrice is talking about, Beatrice can't be the Witch of Sloth, or else she would know that the witch factor has been taken out, right? Assuming all these connections are accurate. Uh, so I was thinking, like, maybe she's one of these witches, you know? Or maybe she's some kind of Synarch bishop. I don't know, but it seems like she has some kind of connection to them because she talked about, like, she said goose, which I assume is Betelgeuse, right? Like, I can't imagine at that point when they're talking about sloth, she'd be talking about anybody else. And she said it with, like, some kind of fondness, you know? Oh, I'm so curious. And then, like, how does the sanctuary tie into all this? Why is the Witch of Greed, like, popping up now when they're on the way to this sanctuary? What is it, like, how does it all tie together? Ah, oh, the mystery just, like, I think if they would have showed, honestly, I do like the setup that they made with the whole, like, Rem thing in the first episode, but if this was the first episode, like, I think that would have, like, drawn in way more people. Like, I don't know if there's people that would actually only watch the first episode and be like, I don't know about this season, and then stop, you know? I can't imagine that. I imagine they're, like, most people would, like, give it an honest shot, like, at least for the first few episodes, so they'd see this one, you know? But if anybody did quit, I feel like this episode would have, like, dragged them back in. Now, I don't want to speak for everybody. I'm not saying everybody has to like this show, you know? But I don't know, the way they handled the way they talked about the sanctuary didn't give us direct answers, referred to it in, like, different, like, I don't know if pronouns are the right words, but, like, they referenced it in so many different ways that I'm not entirely sure what it is, you know? And then, like, the whole, like, gemstone necklace thing that they were holding, like, part of me thinks they teleported, like, inside of it. Because when she held it, when she put it, um, shoot, Frederica or something, when she put it into Amelia's hand and then, like, closed her fingers and said protect sanctuary, I believe she said something along those lines. It was almost like she was talking about the crystal that she put into Amelia's hand. So I was like, maybe it's, like, somehow inside of that, but why'd they have to, like, go to the forest to trigger the entry, which is kind of confusing, you know? Why didn't they just, like, enter it right there? Maybe you have to go to a certain spot with it in order to enter the gemstone, or it's not inside the gemstone at all. I have no idea, honestly, and I honestly love not knowing. So, yeah, make sure you guys don't, like, if you read the novels, don't spoil anything in the comments. Feel free to talk about, like, if you're only watching the anime and you've never seen the or read the novels, then feel free to, you know, throw out your theories with me. But if you've read the novels, please don't spoil anything for me. I do try to read the comments, but I don't, like, some of these questions that I have, I don't want the answers to from the novels. You know, I want to experience it as the story introduces it. I'm just trying to come up with theories and stuff because it's all, like, super interesting. You know, but yeah. Oh man, so cool in my opinion. I don't fully. She seems fine, right? Like Frederica. Sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. The new maid or the old maid that came back. She seems fine. There's just something that I just, like, don't trust about her. You know, maybe it's the teeth, but I think, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. It probably wouldn't surprise me if she somehow betrayed the group. But the way she was this episode, I don't think she's going to, if that makes sense, you know? Uh, but, but yeah, man. So it seems like Rem is kind of taking a back seat, like, solving Rem's problem is going to be something for another day. You know, they have to find Sanctuary, they have to find Roswell and Ram, inform them of everything that happened and all that. And, man, I'm just racking my brain. It's hard for me to keep all my thoughts in one spot because then I'm thinking back to, like, you know, talking about how this was all, like, Roswell's plan and everything. Like, how does this all connect? I cannot wait to see. Man. But yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know who this Garfield person is. Like, is is that gonna be some kind of like guardian or something on the way to Sanctuary? Or they said like you want to be careful running into him, but they didn't warn him anything about the Witch of Greed showing up. So maybe this is a special thing for Subaru. I don't know. I'm excited though. Honestly, I I have so much more to say, but I'm not sure like if I'd be retreading ground and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna hold off with any more theories. I think I've come up with, a decent amount to think about and everything. So I think that might be it for me for this episode. But boy, this episode is amazing. It really like pulled me into this story a lot more now, I think. But yeah, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of my new content that comes out. Also, check out my Patreon if you want to support my channel. You can do so on there. The link is in the description. You don't get access to early access for this show because I watch it as it airs. But my other shows you can get early access, or you can see my Patreon exclusives, which I'm watching. I'm doing reactions of Soul Eater and Violet Evergarden on my Patreon right now. So check that out if you're interested. And I appreciate the support. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye.